On the 23rd of November 2018, the International Development Secretary Penny Mordaunt announced that the UK government would be giving away £50 million of the taxpayers' hard-earned cash to tackle the illegal practice of female genital mutilation. This is not £50 million to be burnt on eliminating this barbaric practice here in the UK, but no, abroad. The Independent article states, and I quote, "The International Development Secretary announced a cash boost to local projects across Africa over the next 5 years as part of efforts to end the practice by 2030. Unquote. There's one thing that you can always rely on with the UK government, and that's for them to burn your hard-earned tax. But it's an honourable cause, you might say. Well, let's take a closer look. It is currently 2018. If I had walked down a city centre high street 10 or 20 years ago and asked a random selection of the population what is female genital mutilation, or FGM, most would never have heard of it, let alone imagine what it actually consists of. It is a barbaric practice that was brought to the UK by Muslim migrants. FGM is not and was not practiced in the UK by the indigenous people. Just off the top of my head, I can think of a whole raft of far more important causes for the UK's native people. Those people that are your neighbours and parents and grandparents that built this country, as opposed to donating £50 million to Africa, where we have little control over the handout. Possible UK causes are trying to tackle the 320,000 homeless people as of November 2018. The Trussell Trust is the largest food bank network in the UK, and it handed out around 41,000 food packets in 2009-2010, compared to 1.2 million in 2016 and 17. So before the International Development Secretary sits on her high horse and thinks she's smart and compassionate, the UK government should put its priorities in order. FGM is illegal in the UK by way of the Female Genital Mutilation Act 2003. However, official figures show that as of September 2016, there was not a single conviction, and I am confident that there have still been no convictions as of November 2018. That is 13 years after the introduction of the Act. A legal act should be both called upon and enforced, otherwise it is useless and should be scrapped. If in the UK we have an Act of Parliament to prevent FGM and have not had a single conviction after 13 years, how do you think £50 million is going to be used in Africa? In order to gauge the zero conviction rate, let's look at some stats. The government estimates that there are 170,000 women and girls living in the UK that have undergone FGM. Between April 2015 and March 2016, there were nearly 6,000 cases in England alone. Not a single conviction. 6,000 new cases per year that we know about, and not a single conviction in 13 years since the introduction of the Act. What a sham. It's a completely impotent government that sets legislation and throws taxpayers' money at it, but is not prepared to see it through. The UK government is continually reminding us about equality. So let's take them up on this and have £50 million spent on male genital mutilation, or as they like to call it, circumcision. Let's equally have an Act of Parliament called the Male Genital Mutilation Act. Where is it? We have this inequality from the UK government because they are weak and they don't want to take on primarily the Jews. The International Development Secretary has poured £50 million of the taxpayers' money down the drain for the following reasons. It is money that is not spent in the UK. We have little control over its allocation and management. In 2018, the national average salary is approximately £25,000. This could support a family of 2 adults and 2 children, a total of 4 people. Thus, if we divide 50 million by the 25,000 multiplied by 4, we get 8,000 people. And we can see that the £50 million could support 8,000 UK citizens for a whole year. The UK is just 1% of the world's population. What is £50 million going to have on the world's billions of Muslims? It's pissing in the wind. FGM is a religious practice and no amount of money is going to change attitudes. Still think giving £50 million of UK taxpayers' money to adults in Africa to eradicate FGM is value for money?